We begin tonight with a convicted killer who just met his date with death. After a 17-year run on death row and a number of appeals, Oba Chandler died nearly half an hour ago by lethal injection at the Florida State Prison in Stark for the 1989 murders of an Ohio woman and her two daughters. We want to go live now to Stark. That's where we join our Brenda McLaughlin and Serena Fazan. And Brenda, let's start with you. You were just a witness to that execution just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, Jameson, as a matter of fact, the hearse carrying the body of Oba Chandler just left the prison yard right here and is headed to the Alachua County Medical Examiner's office for an autopsy. That's standard procedure. I have no gruesome details to tell you because I have to say this was the most sterile, peaceful, calm punishment you could possibly imagine. Let me tell you, first of all, how this was laid out. I was in the witness room with about 30 other people. I was in the back row, which was elevated right in the center, so I was able to see quite clearly what was going on. In front of me, there were three prosecutors from the Pinellas Pasco State Attorney's Office, which is a little bit unusual. They were here to see this case through. In the front row, family members of the victims, in this case, Hal Rogers, who nobody expected to come. He told everybody he wasn't going to be here. He was there in the front row center with another two family members and a family friend. Let me tell you how it played out. You're facing a window that's covered with a curtain. At 4:07, a few minutes late, and we're not sure why that was, the curtain is lifted. I was surprised to see Oba Chandler strapped down in a gurney laying flat on his back with his eyes closed. I had a thought for a moment that he might have already been executed. He looked that quiet, that peaceful. There was to be no eye contact between Oba Chandler and anybody in the viewing gallery the entire time. At about 4:08, the phone call was made to the governor's office to see if there was going to be any stay, any sort of clemency or commutation of the sentence. There was none, so the execution started. Chandler said one word the entire time. That word was no, in answer to the question, do you have any final statement to make? The three drugs are then dispensed, and it's not dramatic. These drugs are dispensed behind the wall. You don't see when this happens or exactly how it happens. But there are three drugs, one that knocks him out, the second one stops the lungs from breathing, and the last one stops the heart. He was declared dead at exactly 7:25, and he was loaded into a hearse and taken to the coroner's office for the autopsy. A sobering situation. It was sort of a grim reunion of people whose lives were changed by this heinous crime, the death of two teenage girls and their mother in 1989 in Florida. It ends today here at the prison in Rayford, but it certainly does not end for those affected by it. It's something all of us, myself included, to some extent will carry with us. We expect a press conference in just a few minutes. We are told that we may even hear from Hal Rogers and get his impressions. Maybe he can explain why he decided, after all, to come here and see the execution of the man who killed his wife and two daughters.